Hello, I'm George Borrelli at Crystal River, Florida. I've been rebuilding Tesla seats for about 3 years. It started with my 2022 Model 3 Performance. The seat was just too narrow for me and it hurt. I'm a broad-shouldered, wide-hipped, kind of a big bone, moderately large build guy. There's probably, I don't know, 10% or more of the population that has build big as mine or much bigger. I'm not basketball player size, but I'm apparently wider bone, bigger bone than most people. I'm talking about the bone structure. I'm not talking about fat. So you'll have a slim, athletic guy, normal build, but athletic. Usually they're over 6 foot tall, sometimes not, but usually they often have trouble with Tesla seats, even the larger cars, Model X and Model S. So this video is about the Model X. I had a request from a customer. He has a Model X. He's 6'5", slim, athletic build, but it really hurt him. So this is the finished seat that I built. Just want to tell you a few things about it. So this is the core from his era seat. It's actually a 24. The problem is that this distance across is too narrow for us, bigger guys. And there's a piece of metal that goes across here that holds this firmly up. Well, that's wonderful for someone that's smaller, but that's guys that have 13-inch wide hips, wide shoulders, that kind of build. The hips are pressing right up against here, and so the legs are pressing against here, so that's a real problem. Let's see, I'll set this aside for now. So this is a seat base. The seat base is common. I believe they're identical. The motors might be different, but the metal, I believe, is the same. So I use this as a jig to set up and build to test my seat build. So what I did is to build a seat, I bought a brand new complete Tesla seat with the cover and all. Take the cover off. Glued to the top here is the heater core and the seat sensor. I remove the seat sensor, delicately remove this wiring heater. It's a cloth based flat, it conforms. And I move those over to a foam base that I get that's compatible, that I have to do mods to. I have to do hand mods to them, cutting and trimming. And then I attach it to the OEM cover. I call this the faux leather cover. And so the wiring is there, everything's there. You can see I added a huge block of foam. The reason for that is I need to get the base of the seat above the sides. These will cause pain. In the Model 3, we don't have the wire in the foam, we just have this, and that causes a hell of a lot of pain. So, on this case, I had to put in a larger foam than I usually use for the Model 3 and Model Y. This is the person and seat sensor, and this is the seat heater. It has to be compatible to your particular year and model. This is the type that uses 23, 24, maybe 22, I'm not sure. So what else can I cover? So when this goes together, once you get your seat, your standard, your OEM seat cushion out, you place this one in here like so that the front is flush, and then you attach this clip, the side clips, and the back clips. To show that better, I have to turn it over. Sorry about the back. To you. Using some cloth here to just give a little protection. So, what's going to be challenging, and I recommend that when you get this, you pull this in, so you're going to be working upside down, or the other way around, I'm working upside down. you roll this in, then you gotta push this down and get this over this lip. Hopefully you can see that. And I roll this in and I clip it all the way down. Now the reverse are taking it off. If they're taking it off, I like to get my screwdriver in here and kind of pull it up and roll it out like that. Sometimes you can use a little lever point, but you know, that helps when they're really super tight. The sides are the same. The sides, these clips go into this metal, so when we put the new seat in, you roll this to the inside like this, and you get these clips over the top, and you get them in there and they snap in. On the back, I had to do some custom work because this is really a lot higher, so this pulls out too tight. So even if when the seat's in there perfectly, it doesn't fit on the spring. So I added these little wire extenders, and you put this into the wire extenders. So that's the seat build. Let's back up. Make sure you see the benefits. The benefit is that there's no wire in here, so you can actually sit. If your bone goes on this, that's fine. You can sit like this, and compress that. I just put a piece of foam in here, extra foam, to kind of make it stand up a little, and so that you wouldn't feel the metal frame at all when you're sitting on it. This is a perforated seat, meaning that the OEM version had a vent to it. They call them ventilated seats or air-conditioned seats. Sorry about that. Get caught. Okay, I want to set this aside. So on the OEM seat, this particular customer, he didn't care about the vents. I guess they don't do it for him. So I didn't want to take on the challenge of trying to get this vent in, because I'd have to drill all of these holes in this alternative seat, and I believe this foam is kind of specially made that can handle that. Plus, those are made when this thing is poured and sets. I'd have to drill and foam. I don't know how well that would work out. I'll have to try it one day. But the way this works in the OEM situation is this gets clipped on here. I believe it's glued. I just took it off. And then the motor assembly gets snapped into here, and then it blows in here, blows through there, through the plenum, and then comes out the other side and then goes through the vents. This is probably the 20th seat I've built. It's the first seat I'm going to deliver for a guy that needs it here in the States. I'll ship it to him and he'll just swap the seat on station. What's nice about this concept is there's little downtime. So you have me build a seat, or you build a seat if you want to. And then once the seat's all done, I like to test fit it. And then I also might mention, I test the electrics too. So I go in here with my ohm meter and make sure this is working correctly. So with no one in the seat, there's about 10k ohms, I believe. And then when there's someone in the seat, I read 1k ohms, and that has to be. And then the other thing is the seat heater. There's two sets of wires in here. One's for the sensor, I believe, and the other's for the heater. I read them before and I read them after just to make sure of the integrity. The heater wires themselves, you know, they'll run about 3 ohms or something. It's pretty low, and the sensor, I forget if it was probably k ohms. I think it was 8k ohms. So when we put the seat in, make sure we don't pull this is too hard, because it's kind of delicately connected in the back, and they're just soldered in onto that cloth thermal seat heater. If you don't have enough room, and often you don't because we lifted it so much, you might have to disconnect the excuse me, you might have to disconnect the clips from the seat assembly. Often they're clipped to this. I just move them around. There's usually enough slack. If there isn't, the seat heater wire would be hard to extend. There's 4 wires, it's not that high. If the person and seat sensor came out just too short, you just couldn't do it. It's just 2 wires, a non-polarity, just 2 black wires. So those would be easy to just extend the wires by using either those clips or solder it and then cover them and so forth. I'm happy to help this guy out. He was in a lot of pain. He bought one of the biggest cars at the time, the Model X, and even though he did, it still hurts him like hell. I just demoed and got a loaner Model X myself, and yeah, the seat's a little too tight, you know, even for me. If I bought the Model X, and I'm considering maybe getting a Model X down the road, I would have to modify the seat. So I'm getting this experience, I'm getting these seats. This looks like a really good build to me. It's based on the same principles I used to build all the Model 3 and Model Y seats. They all came out really well. My Model 3 seat I've had in my car for just about 3 years, and I've made full trips all the way up to North Carolina from Florida in a day, and the seat doesn't hurt. So that's real success. So if you're having problems with your seats, if you just need some help, some pointers, I've been giving away a lot of free advice. I have to charge for the seats. There's a lot of work involved, and I have to buy 2 seats to make one. So that's going to cost a little bit. I try to price it very aggressively, very fairly. I'm not here to rip anyone off at all. I'm here to help. Just look me up. Again, George Borrelli in Crystal River, Florida. I just do this on the side to help people. I'm a retired guy. I was an engineer years ago. So please like and subscribe. You know, the usual stuff. Thank you.